it's been called an insolvency Armageddon, the number of failed businesses around Australia almost doubling within a year. Business owners say they're struggling to stay afloat amid tough economic conditions and persistent staff shortages. Kickin'Inn restaurant owner Ravi Singh is experiencing this firsthand and he joins us live. Ravi, thanks so much for your time.
Nice to see you.
Now, you operate 15 restaurants. How are you coping amid this economic crisis right now?
Well, put it this way, Sarah, the great Australian dream of owning your business is fading away really fast. If I refer back to the ASIC report that just came out, in January you had 359 insolvencies that doubled in in February rather, and then now we're sitting on about 828. So the trend is not looking good at all, and I think the word on the streets is very somber. People are very down. And people are finding it very, very tough and very difficult.
And the timing of this is weird too, isn't it? Because there was sort of that uptick following the pandemic, but are you saying that things have levelled out again and actually going backwards?
Well, yeah, and everybody like myself and entrepreneurs were looking forward to coming out of the pandemic and knowing that business is going to be booming. And I think everybody was looking forward to that great, getting back into normalcy. But now things have just turned for the worst.
With costs going up and your expenses getting higher and higher, it is difficult to really pass that on to customers, isn't it? I mean, everyone reaches a ceiling.
Well, it's impossible now. So I think there's three factors, Sarah, that we're looking at. Number one is the cost of goods has gone through the roof. It's just spiralling out of control. The second factor is the spending power of the consumers have gone so low. And I'll give you some examples. In our restaurants as an example, and this is all across the industry, the booking numbers for booking tables have gone down by 80%.
Yeah.
And 50% of them don't show up simply because people are making those last-minute decisions.
That's tough.
And the third factor, which I feel very sad about, and this involves everybody, including business owners and consumers, is the emotional stress that this is putting on the market.
And you guys as well, right, as business owners? How do you cope through that mentally?
Well, it is very, very difficult, and my heart goes out to every business owner. As I speak to you today, and I'm sure they will understand the plight that we're in. We've got to save costs, we've got to keep our doors open, we've got to fork out, large amounts of finance, backings to keep the businesses going. But there will be a time where businesses will just not continue.
It's interesting because not so long ago we were talking about businesses struggling to find staff. Is that still the case, or has it flipped now and you're actually struggling to retain staff because of the situation you're finding yourself in with fewer customers?
I think the issue is about skilled labour, and that continues. I know the government is doing everything possible, and the opening, migration as an example, the next 24 months we're looking at about 650,000 people coming in. But I think we need to look at, the core of the issues, Sarah. I think we need to go back and say, what's happened to all our skilled employees? Is our tertiary education system working? I think that's going to address, bigger issues and bigger problems rather than just opening migration, because that's not going to help.
Yeah, it doesn't sound as though it's really...
it's very costly.
Yeah, the solution at the moment.
Yeah.
What would you benefit from in terms of government action?
Well, I was quite pleased to hear that, the new budgets are coming out, and, the Federal Treasurer, Jim Chalmers, is talking about $314 million being ploughed back into the community, and there's some tax concessions coming in. I'm hoping the policymakers will listen to people like myself and do something for the business community, because at the end of the day, we're the ones that are holding the economy together. We employ people. In my case, we were supposed to be opening 15 restaurants this year, and I've now scaled back, and that is close to about 800 jobs that we can't put back into the economy because of the situation we're in.
From 15 to what?
Yep. Well, we're running 15 restaurants and we're opening 15 more, but we've got 100 more to open by 2030.
Goodness, it's difficult out there, isn't it?
It's a very hard time.
All right, Ravi, thanks so much for your time. Hopefully things start to look up for you.
Thank you, Sarah.
Appreciate you coming in.
Cheers.
Carl.